you growing up in Ackworth, Georgia. I heard you talk about before growing up, childhood wise, like you felt like you never were accepted. Like you said, you never felt you were black enough. You never felt like you fit in. You kind of felt lost, right? And of course, it was documented when you were 15. So when really things started to snowfall for you. Do you think those situations growing up and feeling like that in that environment was a reason to,
like, for everything that happened?
yeah, for everything, a snowball effect?
Yeah, no, I can look back now and see like everything kind of just happened the way that it did for a reason, you know, like I don't feel like I learned the things I learned. I don't feel like I'm in a position now where people can take inspiration or wisdom from me unless I went through everything that I went through or felt everything that I felt. So yeah, I mean, all those things contributed to it. Like I mean, I always tell people, not a lot of people become like drug addicts or alcoholics because it's just like, you know, I can't wait to fuck my life up. Like,
Right.
I can't just wait to just ruin my
That's
life.
not like their thought process.
You know what I'm saying? It starts with just wanting to change the way that you feel. It's like, man, I'm anxious, man. I'm thinking about this, like, I just want to have a drink. Like, that'll help me out. That'll just give me that. Like, for me, pills was that weed, drinking, like, it expanded from there, but it all just started from like, man, I'm so anxious. I'm so nervous. I'm like, my brain's moving 1,000 miles per hour. I just want this shit to slow down a little bit.
Yeah.
And that's where I started. And then from there, it's like, this shit feels good. I'm gonna keep doing it. Like, oh, this shit got me with the in crowd now. Like, I could turn up. Like, I could drink like that because, you know, it's alcoholics in my family. So like, I could throw drinks back. And that's like, amongst men, that's something that's like,
That's
we salute that
celebrated.
shit.
That's
You know what I'm saying?
glorified.
Yeah. So like, I found my identity in doing shit like that.
Yeah.
And
Do
then,
you feel like, you know, the people that you were around kind of, you know, amplified that, like you drinking or taking pills or whatever the case may be?
yeah, I mean, just like, you know, you kind of like, you are who you hang around. You hang around in the barbershop, you gonna get a haircut.
Right.
Yeah.
It's like, but I don't blame them in any way. It was something that I wanted to get into. I wanted to do what they were doing because they were cool people. And also I wanted to, you know, partake because that shit it just made everything slow down. It made me feel at peace, made me feel like, all right, like I ain't got to be tripping about everything at all times. So, but yeah, I don't blame anybody else, but yeah, just being in that environment definitely accelerated me and wanted me, and got me to just take it to new levels.
Yeah. I think, like, I feel like that's such a big part of like being a kid, like who you're around. Like we had Jay Penny on here last week, and one of the things that he said that really stuck with me, he was like, you have to be selfish about like who you surround yourself with, you know, who's in your circle, who has access to you. And I feel like the younger that you learn that, it's almost like more beneficial, you know, because if you were in, you know, with a different crowd, it might have been, you know, the story might have been a little bit different. So I think that's so important. But also what Jay Penny said is like, you've always been yourself. Like him meeting you, he was like, I love Darren because he's himself at all times.
Unapologetically.
He's unapologetically himself. You know what I'm saying? He's like, it doesn't matter who's in the room, you're always gonna get Darren, you know? And I thought that was super dope when he said that about you.
Yeah, that's crazy because there was a majority of my life where it was like you were gonna get a different Darren every room that I walked into.
Wow.
So like I was gonna put a mask on, I was gonna be the
you know, whoever.
Trying to be tough, trying to be cool, trying to be on the bitches, like trying to be, and then in another room I'd be like on the nerd, kind of like we was talking about before the show. Like I was gonna be the nerd, I was gonna be the dude that was, you know, intelligent about school, about whatever. Like every room I went into, I felt like I had to change.
Right.
Yeah.
I never felt comfortable in my own skin, just showing up as me. So for him to say that, it's like looking back on my journey, it's like I never felt that about myself, that I could walk in, and for somebody else to notice that, it's like, wow, it's like,
God, that gotta be a great feeling.
That's a
man.
great
It's a
feeling.
great feeling.
It's like progress, you know, it's like the work is working type of thing.